In today's TCI 10, we're discussing performance tasks and writing assessments in TCI. We start with a reminder that there are always performance task assessments in every TCI lesson, and those are called processing assignments. You can find them in a few different places. In the student platform, they will be in the lesson summary section. So if we go over to the student side and we click on reading, and in the summary section, after students read the summary, this is where the processing assignment is located. So you can see this particular performance task is write a 1 to 2 page newspaper article from the viewpoint you were assigned during the art exhibition gallery walk and debate. And then it goes on to describe what should be in the newspaper article. So this is based on after students have done the reading in the text and the core learning activity, they will go to the processing assignment. So this is one source for performance-based assessment in TCI. There are also writing assessments available inside of the TCI Assessment Builder platform. So when we're talking about writing assignments, we can go in and look at the essay prompts that are inside the platform. Now you can see here, I've already built a consequences of industrialization writing assignment. I'm going to preview that assignment. You'll notice that I have built some scaffold questions here with multiple choice questions, some open-ended questions, and some document-based questions. All of these building to my writing task assessment. So this is generally a DOK3 task. You can see the essay assignment here, which is focused on the essential question for that lesson. So let's go back now and look at how to build this. So I'm going to go ahead and just build a new assessment. And here I'm inside of the assessment builder. So when I'm looking for questions, I'm going to start by inserting questions, and I'm only going to look at what's inside TCI. And I want to start with what my writing task is going to be. So I'm just going to click on prompt and writing. So I'm going to narrow this down to just see what the main extended writing prompt is. You can see I have a few scaffold writing questions in here available. And then you'll find here, this is usually a DOK3 task. So here is the core essay that students are going to write. And I'm going to add that to my new test. So now I have this question available in my assessment for students to respond. But I can also find additional questions to add to this writing assessment, just as you saw in the example. So I could add assessment questions that come from the multiple choice questions or the short answer, fill in the blank questions, but I can also add in lesson notebook questions in the assessment builder. So I'm in my same test here, and now instead of adding from the tests, I'm going to click on notebook, uncheck test. I just want to see what questions from the notebook may be helpful in answering this essay. So I'm just trying to add some scaffold questions in here. So these are right from the student interactive notebook. Students have already done this in the core assignment, but now I'm adding them as an assessment. So I can add some of these questions in that might help students to answer the essay question. Again, notice here that the processing assignment is also located inside the test builder. So if I wanted to make the process assignment part of an assessment, very similar in many ways to the DOK3 writing task that we've already added, I could add that through the assessment builder as well. But for now, I'm just adding some open-ended questions, and these are from the lesson notebook. So now I'm going to add those. And I can reorder these questions and move them up so that they scaffold towards the writing assignment. In addition to creating an assessment for one single lesson in TCI, I can also create unit assessments in the assessment builder. So I have the option of actually going into other lessons and adding in assessments as well. So again, in my test builder platform, if I wanted to make this test more of a comprehensive unit writing assessment, so I'm just going to take out these scaffold questions that I've put in there because I want to just make this a writing task assessment. And so I'm actually going to go back and insert questions. But now at the top, I'm going up here to lessons, and I'm going to check on all of the lessons that are part of the Industrial Revolution. So I have 3 lessons here that are going to be inside of this unit. So now that's where I'm going to be drawing questions from. And I've gone back to test. I want to only the writing questions, and I also want to take the prompts just to make sure I've incorporated the prompts where necessary. So you can see I've already added the lesson 17 writing prompts. But here I have the lesson 18 writing prompt. So if I want to add in the lesson 18 writing prompt, and here is the lesson 16 writing prompt. So I'm going to add these. And now I have 3 questions, and I can reorganize these into any order that I want. So now I have an open-ended unit assessment. If I preview that, you can see what it looks like in the online version. And I can also do a PDF so that I have a print assessment. Here's what the print version looks like. In addition to using the questions that are already within the TCI program, I can also create my own questions in the assessment builder. So this has a robust platform where I can actually go in and I can create any type of question I would like to. One of the interesting things you might do is try a drawing question. This will look similar to what students encounter in their interactive notebook. So the canvas here will be similar to what they see in the interactive notebook. You can pre-populate this canvas by building a graphic organizer, for example, that students would then put the answers into themselves, whatever you'd like to use that for. Now, I've already created a few questions, so I want to find my questions that I've already created and add them to the assessment. So in this case, I've used some document-based questions with a source for each question. And if I want to add any of these in, I can also add those to my writing assessment. Now I clicked on created by me, but I've also added these to the district bank. So this is another advantage of using the TCI program, is that I can add questions into the district bank, and now it's available for everyone. So imagine if all of the teachers in Columbus City Schools create their own questions and add them to this bank. That creates another resource for all teachers to be able to use. I can actually add them to the entire TCI bank if I'd like, or I can simply add them to this district bank. And that goes for assessments as well. So I can actually do that and create my own assessments, and then they're part of the Columbus City School District Bank. But when I'm creating individual questions, I'm going to go into my test and I'm going to add those once I've created them into the district bank. The final point I'd like to make here about writing inside of TCI is another hidden gem. Always inside of the program support is where you'll find these extra resources. And they're a little bit different depending on the program. So you'll find these social studies skills. And in this program, it's under reading and ELD support. So it varies a little bit from program to program, but you can see if I pull up this document, now I have a document with extra reading support. So I have an organizer for a 5-paragraph essay. I have some samples available, developing a thesis statement, writing the introduction. So these are all tools that you can use in classroom instruction to really prepare students to write those essays, those DOK 3 tasks, and the processing assignments inside TCI.